Alright, so as you can tell by the title of this video, How to Beat an Eating Disorder, this is a video obviously not saying that beating an eating disorder is easy in any sort of way, because I know that firsthand that it's not. This is more of a video of me talking about my own experiences and just my advice to anyone that is dealing with an eating disorder or depression or self-harm or any of that sort of matter, because I've been through that, and I've been through all that for a couple of years, and this is just a video that I've been meaning to make for quite a while, and I wanted to wait until I was 100% better and recovered that I could give the utmost best advice that I could. I know that there are a lot of people that deal with this day to day, and I know what it's like to feel like there's no hope, that there's no one there for you, there's no one that's gonna help you through this, there's no way out of whatever you're dealing with, and I just want you to know that there is that light at the end of the tunnel. I didn't believe it for quite a while, and here I am sitting here making this video. Got to that point where I wasn't sure if I was going to make it or not, but I'm here, and I'm sitting here, and I'm telling you that recovery is an option, and there is hope, and you can obtain happiness. That's an option. So, before I get too emotional, without even starting this video really, I guess I'll just start at the beginning. It started in about 8th grade when I was 13 years old. There was this girl that bullied me. I experienced a lot of verbal abuse, cyberbullying, you name it. I've been called every name in the book, and I was called every name in the book by the time I was 13 years old. That was when I first began feeling like I had failed, and that was the first time that I had experienced failure, because for up until then I had gotten good grades, I played a lot of sports, I had a lot of friends, I was happy. This girl made me feel guilty and vulnerable. What I did that I shouldn't have, that if you're dealing with a bully right now, is letting her get the best of you, is letting her words come into your mind and hurt you and become your way of thinking. That's what jump-started this whole journey of my eating disorder, my depression, my self-harm, is letting these bullies' words become my own thoughts and become my own beliefs of myself. I let someone else's words become the way that I thought of myself. In the beginning, it was just kind of like an observation that I had made. Not to say that I was fat, but I was a little chubby, which is fine, because for a while I didn't really watch what I ate. I was looking at myself more and more in the mirror and saying, you know, why do I have fat here? Why don't I look like those other girls? And so I just decided one day that I would start watching what I eat and exercising a little more. And so I started to keep a diary of what I ate day to day, how much I exercised, how I felt. In the beginning it was very frustrating, because anyone who's tried to lose weight knows that it's frustrating, because when you're trying to, it's more so hard because you're trying so hard to in the beginning and you expect results in the beginning, but that's never going to be the case. All of our bodies are different, they just work differently, and that's just the truth. I decided to kick it up a notch, and I decided to exercise more and eat less. Once I finally started to see the numbers dropping on the scale, I finally felt happiness. My mind connected weight loss with happiness. It just became my little control variable. Everything else could be going wrong in my life, at least I can control this. I can control my weight loss, and I can control how much I eat, I can control how much I exercise, and no one can take that away from me. And that was what made me happy. It just started to become a game. My weight just kept lowering and lowering. Someone finally noticed. I was waiting for someone to tell me, you're skinny, you're pretty, you've lost a lot of weight, and complimenting me, because for so long, I just kept looking at myself and saying, you're ugly, you're fat, you need to lose weight, when that wasn't the case. I was waiting for someone to tell me that, and as I lost more and more weight, it began as something of like, oh, like you lost some weight, you look good, stuff like that, and then it became more of like, whoa, you lost a lot of weight, like what's going on? Obviously, when people discuss eating disorders, there's a lot of controversy because a lot of people think that eating disorders are fake and that they're someone's choice to have an eating disorder. That you just like wake up one day and you're like, I think I'm gonna have an eating disorder. But it's totally not. I promise you that. My days became harder day to day. I wouldn't be eating, and when you stop eating so much, your stomach kind of shrinks. It shrinks, and so it can take in less food because it's not used to getting so much food. I remember being diagnosed as anorexic, and it was kind of scary. I was not allowed to participate in any sort of physical activity. So instead of attending these sports practices like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I would start attending the doctors and my therapist and my group therapy. And I knew from like that point that I don't want to be here. I knew it in my heart that I could get better, and I wanted to get better. But whenever I would try, I just kept failing. But when you go from like basically not eating anything to having all this food forced at you, it's like impossible because your body's not used to it and your mind's not used to it, and everything's just kind of confused. I wanted to isolate myself a lot. I really didn't want to hang out with people. I just felt better when I was alone. Don't want people. I just wanted to isolate myself completely. And it was just hard for a really long time. I just didn't really feel like people would accept me. You know, I remember taking this one picture of just like me smiling. My collarbones just really, really like protrudely like sticking out of my body, and you could see them from like my neck, starting at my neck and coming out to like my shoulders. Like you could just see it going all the way across. If I were ever to be in a bathing suit, you could see my hip bones, you could see my ribs, you could see it all. Being depressed is not something that people take lightheartedly that have been depressed. I started self-harming. I thought that I deserved pain because I was in so much pain, and I thought that 2 + 2 = happiness, and that if I cut my wrists that everything would be okay, but it wasn't. That I got to such a low point, that people get to such low points of their lives where nothing will make them happy anymore, and nothing will satisfy them more than weight loss, or starving themselves, or making themselves purge, or cutting themselves, or attempting suicide. I just want people to know honestly that getting help isn't like a sign of weakness or failure. It's a sign of you acknowledging that you know that you have a problem, and going and talking to someone about it, someone professional about it, that can really help you. You're gonna make it. You're gonna recover from this. You're gonna come out of this on the other side. It took me 2 years to recover from my eating disorder, my depression, and my self-harm, but it's made me nothing but stronger. Oddly enough, I'm grateful that I got that experience, because now I get to get on camera and tell my story and share my story, because I want nothing more than for people going through the things that I went through to know that there is hope. If I've even impacted your life just like this much, that makes me so happy that I can give you at least that much hope, because I could have used that a long time ago too. Thank you to anyone that was listening. Okay, bye.